You know what? It's I had a lot of players and former players coming to me the last year, like genuinely concerned. Like, are you going to be okay? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be all right. And he says, listen, it's gonna be progressive, right? The first week, it's gonna be a serious state of depression. The second week, you're gonna be angry. The third week, you're gonna start coming around. You're gonna have a level of acceptance. I'm like, what the fuck? No, I'm good. Like, I'm good. And I think the most important thing is finding what it is that you love to do. That's the hardest part. And it took work. Like, basketball was born to play. But the second phase, what we're doing, it took a lot of work, a lot of soul searching, a lot of investigating and trying things out. But when you find what it is that you love to do, then you wake up every morning with a sense of purpose. So my life it's been great. I mean, I fell into a great routine. I work out 5 o'clock every morning, take the kids to school, get some breakfast with my wife, go to the office, work there, pick the kids up, and then from there it's just, volleyball here, basketball here, soccer there, you know what I mean? And that's my routine. The appreciation comes in moments, it comes in increments, like you go through a moment in time and you realize that you're going way too fast, and you really get a chance to appreciate everything that's happening. So you take a beat and you appreciate it, but the reality is you can't stay there. You know what I mean? Because then you can't ever grow and evolve, right? So there's moments of appreciation, and then you have to move on and focus.
Fresh like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a max. Roll up this, we ballin' to the max. Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be. Alrighty, here I am, live. About to actually give you all, and I know I have on a do-rag right now, whatever. It's really, really late at night. Obviously, the world is going through a lot right now. And forgive me as I try to perfect my sound, because for some reason, it just don't sound as crispy as it normally does to me. So hopefully it sounds as crispy as I think it should. But, you know, I'm really trying to even before I was about to hop on, my heart rate just started beating really, really fast, and I was like, "Damn, what's wrong with me?" Normally I'm never nervous to do a show. I'm never pressed. I'm never taken aback. And today is one of those days that I'm sure all of us, until the end of time, we'll be able to remember. I know for a fact that, this is one of those days where, especially if you're watching this program in particular, that you're going to look back on in a long time and be like, yo, that's pretty nuts that, number one, we as a people are going through the things that we're currently going through as a people, but also it's just so much bigger than podcasts and storylines and MVP lines and me being mad at LeBron and me rooting against him and me rooting for Steph Curry and yeah, man, like I don't really know what to say. So I know that you might see me in my do-rag appearance with my D Wade jersey on, but the only reason why this is on is because I'm in my office right now. My cat, she takes exotic, whats, and it just smells terrible in here. So I'm just gonna gut it out, and I'm like, what? If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be comfortable. I'm gonna have to sit here and give you all some semblance of catharsis. I need my own, semblance of catharsis as well. Um, I, according to the, World Health Organization, we are officially in the middle of a pandemic. The first one of first one in a long, long time, 100 years. We talk about life and things of that sort, and kind of how cyclical a lot of this stuff is. But I think the other thing about it is that we get so caught up in all of this extra bull, you know what, um, that sometimes I think that we do lose a little bit of of the thing that makes us human, that empathy and that sympathy, which is why you've never ever heard me cheer on for a player being injured. You've never heard me root for anybody being sick, or for any or being or using guys' injuries against them, or lack of playing time due to injuries against them. Even with a guy like JaVale McGee, I've always talked about JaVale McGee having asthma, but I've never used that as a point of disrespect. It's just I'm analyzing basketball. But I mean, as it's late and it's 4 a.m. on the East Coast, 1 a.m. in Los Angeles. Me and Pavy, we were going to originally do this, and he was just like, I don't want to talk. And oh, I always dreamed of turning this platform into an ESPN. And even if it's a ESPN for the the I would say probably collective 15,000 of you that continuously on a normal basis tune in and watch our content. Even though we get hundreds of thousands of views a month, it's about a really core 15,000 of all of you all, whether you're on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or whatever, or you listen to us, domestically or internationally via, Dash Radio or any of the other places where our content is syndicated. So, you know, um, we are ESPN. We are FS1. We are whatever. We are the people that when bad things happen, where you guys come and look to just kind of feel something, and I look to you guys to feel something. And I'm not gonna look at the chat room right now, but I will open it up a little bit later. But I say all that to say that, like, my dream with this platform was always to get it to a level where it mattered enough when real news happened and real things happened. You guys wanted to look to us. Kind of once I saw the potential of what we could be once we were on MLG highlights and how big the clips were, my whole goal for this entire thing has always been like, yo, we can compete with ESPN, we can compete with FS1. And, I was going to turn on ESPN, but then as I kind of was just, I'm like, I don't need to turn on ESPN because all of the usual facts that we have available to us, are available to us via the internet. So, I will be quoting some ESPN journalists tonight because ESPN, I think, as well as Shams, did an excellent job covering the sport of basketball, covering the entire day. The NBA suspended its games today, due to coronavirus, and we're gonna hop into it. And I'm gonna play, some, and show some tweets and play Trump's video, also play the Gobert video. But I think that as a people, we have to understand that this is not a game, it's not a joke. And yes, there is some level of catharsis that comes with the funny jokes on Twitter. But this is serious, you know what I mean? And I want you all to, whether you young or you old or whatever you watching, like, take it seriously. And just like the governor, I believe it was in of Washington, was, he said, you not going to work if you're sick, it might not, he's like, well, what do you tell people about that? He's like, well, he basically was saying that you might save the life of your grandparent or someone that you love by staying home rather than going to work and infecting them or infecting someone else. So, I'm looking at all of this stuff, and it's unfortunate because also we're creatures of habit. I have this underneath my my chin, my little whatever, and all day long because it's on my face, I twist, I turn it, I twist, I turn it. But then the main thing you hear is don't touch your face because you can get it and it transmits through like skin touch and stuff like that. It's not an airborne thing. So, you have to like reprogram your entire being, especially if you're a person of habit, because most people by habit touch their face. Even, President Trump, was saying, I haven't touched my face in 2 weeks, and then they got videos of him touching his face every 5 minutes and touching other people and all that other kind of stuff. So it's unfortunate that we are as a people, as a human race, a people, dealing with something that could potentially, change us as an entire, being. So, I'm praying for everybody out there. I'm praying for you. If you feel sick, man, go get the help that you need. Don't go out and infect people. If you got a fever, stay at home. Call the hotlines. I'm sure all that stuff is available to you. Drink plenty of fluids. But anyways, let's go ahead. And let's get ready to hop on into it. So, as we go ahead, Rudy Gobert has tested positive for the coronavirus. Unfortunately, Rudy Gobert, I'm not gonna. It would be easy to pile on him, but I'm not gonna do that because honestly, there's no way for me to know when or how he contracted the coronavirus. But obviously, I'm going to play this clip. And this is of one Rudy Gobert as he leaves. He gets up and in jest, he comes back, touches all of the mics. The next thing we see Rudy Gobert then being out for the game because he was sick or with parentheses illness. Once that happens, we think, okay, people are joking. Rudy's sick. Hopefully he don't have coronavirus. And then Emmanuel Mudiay is sick, although it hasn't been announced if he has coronavirus, but it has been confirmed that Rudy Gobert has coronavirus. It's just unfortunate. It really is. But also, let me see. How old is Rudy Gobert? Rudy Gobert. Let's see. He's 27. I probably would have did something that foolish when I was 27. But life and me following this thing on the internet for as long as I've been following this thing on the internet tells me, and also being around reporters. Reporters are not clean people. They're nasty. They sneeze all the time. They're always touching stuff. They're always typing. Their computers don't look that nice. They look worn down with handprints. So their germs are everywhere. On microphones, on all of this stuff. On all of this stuff. That's why I went through my whole office. I sanitized everything. Everything. We've got wiped down. Wipe me down, because I'm on. But it's unfortunate that, that happened to Rudy. But pretty much what happened was Rudy Gobert tested for, he was tested for coronavirus. Now, Woj reported it as well as Shams broke the story. They both have said that they don't know the sequence of events in which it happened, meaning that they don't know if Rudy Gobert tested positive and then they told all the players get off the floor because he tested positive for coronavirus, or the sequence of events. But basically, OKC versus the Utah Jazz was about to happen yesterday night. And basically, Rudy Gobert was ill. He stayed behind in the hotel, so he did not enter the arena. Emmanuel Mudiay was ill as well. He stayed behind and did not enter the arena. But even with that being said, still, he tested positive for it, and they canceled the game. And immediately, the NBA announced a immediate suspension of the season. So this is from the official NBA communications department. It says, NBA to suspend season following tonight's games. NBA player tests positive for COVID-19, New York, March 11, 2020. The NBA announced that a player on the Utah Jazz has preliminarily tested positive for COVID-19. The test result was reported shortly prior to the tip-off of tonight's game between the Jazz and Oklahoma City Thunder at Chesapeake Energy Arena. arena. At that time, tonight's game was canceled. The affected player was not in the arena. The NBA is suspending gameplay following the conclusion of tonight's schedule until further notice. The NBA will use this hiatus to determine the next steps moving forward in regards to the coronavirus pandemic. Now, we know South by Southwest has been canceled, or I think it's been canceled or supposedly going to be rescheduled. E3 has been rescheduled. Coachella has been moved back. It's Italy. Unfortunately, I believe a soccer player contracted coronavirus as well. So this is some serious stuff that we're dealing with. Some very, very serious stuff. So as we move forward and we talk about that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play this clip from Trump because although I don't agree with his political stances. At the end of the day, the man is still the president, and currently he has closed our borders to Europe as of Friday. U.S. citizens will be allowed to re-enter the country if they go through protocols, I believe. But that pretty much is an entire ban on all of Europe, but it is not a ban on the goods coming from Europe. It is a ban from any people coming to Europe. I'm coming from Europe, as well as I believe China as well. And I'm going to let Trump himself talk about what it is that he has to say. So go ahead and check out what Trump has to say.
I have decided to take several strong but necessary actions to protect the health and well-being of all Americans. To keep new cases from entering our shores, we will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days. The new rules will go into effect Friday at midnight. These restrictions will be adjusted subject to conditions on the ground. There will be exemptions for Americans who have undergone appropriate screenings, and these prohibitions will not only apply to the tremendous amount of trade and cargo, but various other things as we get approval. Anything coming from Europe to the United States is what we are discussing. These restrictions will also not apply to the United Kingdom. At the same time, we are monitoring the situation in China and South Korea, and as their situation improves, we will reevaluate the restrictions and warnings that are current.
All right, so enough for Trump. But as we can see, we officially have a travel ban. So that means that things are real. Very, very real. It is real. It's happening. This thing is happening. And look at the waves. We can no longer deny it. Shout out to all my black brothers out there. You know what I'm saying? We still got to look fly. But Woj also tweeted about 2 hours ago. He said the NBA owners and executives have slammed league office with a myriad of procedural and bigger picture questions. The league's response: sit tight until Thursday and let us work through it all. Some teams are planning to close facilities today and give players a couple days away. So with that being with that happening, we are not going to see any level of any types of true, of anything really coming forward, with this until the next, I don't even know, probably the next couple weeks. So it's unfortunate, but, queue up your NBA packages, rewatch every Lakers game, rewatch every Giannis game, and then you tell me, go back. Now is the time for us to be reviewing footage, because we honestly are going to get a truncated season, so it probably will wind up being, I think what everybody's played about 63, probably wind up being a 70-game season. They'll immediately hop into the playoffs. The playoffs will probably be, the first round will probably be 5 games, and then 7, 7, 7 after that. But it's unfortunate. But I do want to talk about the Toronto Raptors, because the Toronto Raptors actually played Rudy Gobert and the Utah Jazz in the game. OG Anunoby was actually ejected, as well as Rudy Gobert in the fourth quarter. But basically, sources have told Shams that the Raptors have informed their players to self-quarantine for the next 14 days due to coronavirus situation. Toronto face Utah and Gobert on Monday. So with them quarantining themselves for 14 days, that means at minimum we won't see basketball for another 2 weeks, which is unfortunate. But also, even just seeing this tweet, I remember I was on my way to the studio, and when this tweet came through, I was just like, oh man, this is bad. This is bad, man. It's really bad, and it's not like I'm not a fear monger, but it's still not good. You know what I mean? Like, also, I think that the myth of this thing, just attacking old people. I think Rudy Gobert is proof that, I'm sure he's in peak physical condition. I'm sure he's not a heavy, crazy chain smoker, drinker, etc. And he was able to contract this virus. So I think that we all need to like take it with the same level of seriousness that we would take anything else that we deem to be serious. I think, you know, as I get older, and I move and I'm pacing towards 30, it's just kind of nuts how the transformation from a boy to a real man has really kind of begun to take hold. And I think that as I get older and I really, really, really start to kind of see life from a different perspective, and things start to happen instantly. Like I'm thinking about my family, I'm thinking about my girl, you know what I mean? I'm thinking about my kid, and I'm like, yo, like I gotta, this is some real stuff going on, so I gotta protect my family, So I think that, moving forward, that's really all I can really think about. So, y'all probably still get some basketball content from us, and we're gonna keep the basketball stories going, and maybe we can get a little bit more granular. Maybe I might just go back and start rewatching random players. Feel free to drop a comment of your favorite random players that you guys want me to go back and watch, and I'll go back through the NBA app and rewatch pretty much all of these games from the seasons from random players that you guys think I should watch, and we can break them down and do stuff like that. But even myself, I'm personally self quarantining because I personally, I've been in Staples within the past week. Pavy's been in Staples within the past week. We don't know who's been coming in and out of where. Like, there's always all different types of walks of life, at NBA games and NBA arenas and things of that sort. So I think that it's just now, it's not the time to panic, but it is the time to be prepared to take it seriously. The jokes on Twitter are funny and they are cool, but at the end of the day, we all still gotta like buckle up our bootstraps and realize that this thing is real. And don't be touching your face. Continue to drink your fluids, and just try to do your best to enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? But I do want to give a major shout out to Royce Young. Royce Young is an ESPN reporter for Oklahoma City. He has done an amazing job, not only chronicling Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant's saga, but also Russ and Paul George, and then even this team still chronicling this team. And today, I think he did such a great job of reporting and giving us as many facts as he could possibly give us without giving us a bunch of filler BS. And even his reporting. He was one of the first people that I saw that was reporting that was like, okay, like the players are leaving the bench. The announcer just told them that this that it's over. Well, they're about to send Baby Bash out there to go perform. And stop slandering Baby Bash, okay? Stop slandering Baby Bash. Baby Bash had some hits back in the day. That's disrespectful. Don't slander Baby Bash. But Royce Young, you are the MVP for the day, man. You did a great job. But it's kind of wild. You see this date. I've been preparing for this for a minute. Like I've been telling my girl about this for a minute. I'm like, baby, this virus, baby, this virus don't look that good, baby. I don't know. She's like, it's gonna be fine. I'm like, baby, I'm looking at these numbers and they keep jumping by the thousands in China. They jumping by the thousands. I mean, by the hundreds as it started to go through Europe. I'm like, baby, this is real. It's happening. And also, I just want to give a special shout out to the Chinese community, especially the ones in America. All the racism and bigotry, that's being thrown at their community is completely, completely, completely unnecessary. I think that, it's just unnecessary. It's unnecessary, and just because somebody is of Asian descent doesn't mean that they were born in Asia. So, like, stop it. Like, you can still go and get your takeout and all of that stuff and enjoy your life. I mean, personally, I just been broke, so I ain't been having no Chinese like that. Otherwise, I would still be in, what I mean? But cause I love me a beef and broccoli, a broccoli beef or a nice little lo mein. So you know what I mean. Shout out to all of the Chinese Americans, Asian Americans. And if you out there and you got that bigotry mind, man, just do yourself a favor. I know that even the president is calling this a Chinese thing. I think that we need to get away from that and realize that this is bigger than a country. This is bigger than some partisanship. This is about humankind, and the future of humankind. Not that we going extinct, but I mean, still, I don't think anybody wants to see anybody die. So, myself especially. So, That's just how it is. But also, I told y'all about a week ago that be very prepared for the NBA playoffs and NBA finals being postponed or played in empty stadiums. I said that on March 6th at 6:56 p.m. I'm telling you, man, I've been because for some reason, because on my personal Twitter, I follow a little bit more worldly stuff, so I follow like world news. When the coronavirus first started to appear, I would click on it, and everything's algorithmic based now. So I would click on it, and as I was clicking on it, it just kept popping up at the top of my thing, and I'm like, all right, and I'm just watching the numbers go up day by day, week by week, country by country. It was like a small list of emojis. Now the list of emojis is like a full 280 characters long, damn near. So it is what it is. But I say all that to say, there is no slander. There is no anything that can make this thing feel right. There are no words to say that are gonna make anybody feel comfortable. The only thing I can say, from personal advice and from personal things, is even when I heard that, Gobert tested positive for coronavirus, and the NBA was suspended, my first thought was like, yo, I gotta go home. I gotta go home to my family. I'm going home to my family, and my first thought was to go home to my family, be with my family, hug my girl, let her know that I love her, and really just like really be happy that I am alive and that I am healthy. And I pray for all of you all's happiness and health. I don't want to see anybody get hurt or anybody be affected by that. I'm gonna do my best to figure out how we can make some. I mean, I don't even know if we can. I don't even know from a charitable standpoint what it is that you can even do to donate to help make it happen, or if it's just really one of them things where all of these governments are gonna have to put up, because it's not about. I mean, if people are dying, they're gonna have to put up, and it seems as though we are not properly prepared for this. It seems as though our arrogance as a humankind has kind of gotten the best of us. But I really, really think that we're gonna come out from this stronger. I think that all of you guys out there and everybody out there that are following the news, keep following the news. And as I said, don't you don't have to be scared, but just be precautious. Make sure that you have enough cold and flu symptom things, so that way even if you do get sick, you got some things to combat it, because there is no known cure, no known anything for it at this point in time. So yeah, man, it feels. I was as I heard that note. I mean, I'm sorry. As I read that news and I heard that news, literally, I'm like, yo, I gotta go home. I gotta be with my girl, man. I gotta go be with my family, man. Like I'm finna have a baby. Like I'm like, yo, like I gotta go be with my baby. So I'm leaving, and as I'm driving, like how you see all those like post-apocalyptic movies, and everybody's driving. It looks like they trying to get out, and you just like, yo, what y'all like, yo, like this looks nuts. That's kind of how it felt to me. So like even as I'm driving through and down the 101, I'm just looking at the bridges, at the cars, at the people, the sky. I remember how blue the sky was, how gray the pavement looked like. It's been one of those days where literally I will never ever forget this day. And hopefully, we all get to live to be able to tell our great great grandchildren about it. And hopefully the mortality rates can stay low, and they can figure out something sooner than later. Because I think that it can happen. And like I said, I'm always a pessimist, because that's just how I am. But I'm a pessimist because I prefer to be prepared. And I feel like there are a lot of people, including when I went to the grocery store, that looked like some out of an Armageddon scene. It was literally the line. It took me 40 minutes just to get out of the line at a Ralph's. 40 minutes to get out of a line at a Ralph's. So, it's, and all of the water was gone. Literally, all of the water was gone. There's a lot of toilet paper still left. But also, this thing about the toilet paper. Y'all do realize that you can just use a rag and just rinse it out in the sink, or just wash that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if the toilet paper go out, at the very worst, you can rag it. You can rag it and wash it. You can rag it and wash it. I'm just saying. And you can just have you a little, a little butt towel, you know what I mean? A little brown, a little white towel, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Ugh. Yeah, man. I don't even. You gotta forgive me. I'm sorry. I got me a hottie toddy right there. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight, though. Hopefully. But I say all that to say, go ahead if you want to. I'm about to read through some of your comments, and then I'm gonna talk to y'all. Somebody said, "Get well, Rudy." But yeah, man, that was pretty wild. They said Moutier too. Corona is overrated. Stop that, man. Somebody said it's been confirmed that Moutier has it too. Oh wow. So shout out to Emmanuel Moutier. Somebody said coronavirus is a pandemic what follows martial law, and come on, man, y'all gotta stop, man. Y'all gotta stop. G, we not headed towards. We not finna go back to martial law. I'm gonna be mad as hell if we go back to martial law. I'm not ready. No, I'm joking. But come on, man. Y'all gotta stop with these. I don't. Y'all gotta stop with these, bruh. Some of these comments, y'all gotta stop with these. National Guard is on high alert. Yes, I saw that as well. Yeah, I did see that Trump shook somebody's hand who had it. Somebody said, "What are your thoughts of Kawhi and the Clippers?" And people talk about load management. I hope they still can beat LeBron and the Lakers, bruh. They not playing, bruh. We just found out the NBA got suspended. And the first thing you want to know is what's gonna happen next and who gonna win, bruh. Stop it, G. Stop it. Somebody said, name a successful person that has died. That's not about that. Success ain't got nothing to do with that. Stop that, man. Stop that, man. Y'all wild. Social media is making it look bad, but we good. Shout out to you, Gary Owen. He said, much love, we good. He said it. Yeah, he said, all right. Okay. All right. Dang. Yo, shout out to you, Gary Owen. All right, you not even reading. No, I mean, I'm reading it now. I'm see what y'all saying, man. Avoid large crowd. Yes, I am. I am avoiding large crowds. I even told Pavy, I'm like, yo, bro, I can't even. Exactly, man. If you got a goal number 2 and you ain't got no tissue, take a shower, bro. Get you one of them little shower heads. You know what I mean? And also, why can't we have them toilets that they have that clean you know what I mean? Why we can't have them? Why we still gotta just depend on tissue? Trump, after we get this corona situation, I'm gonna need you to get this toilet situation fixed as well, because we shouldn't even need to deal with that. But anyways, man, yeah, man, don't really know what to say other than I appreciate you all for tuning in to the 2-for-1 show. You know what? I don't even know who won the games today. I know I saw Boban drop 31 and 17. I'm like, what? So literally, I saw Boban drop 33 and 17. I'm like, yo, yeah, this is getting out of hand. Everything is getting out of hand. 2020 has been the most blasphemous year I can remember in my lifetime. It's bad, man. It is. But we gonna survive through it. We gonna be good. Let's see. The 76ers blew out the Detroit Pistons. Embiid had 30 and 14. Christian Wood had a career high 32. Pavy keep asking me how come Christian Wood PER so high, because he playing good. Duh. The New York Knicks beat the Atlanta Hawks in overtime. Vince Carter. Shout out to Vince, man. Shout out to Vince Carter, man. Vince Carter basically all but kind of hinted that he probably won't play another game as an NBA basketball player, depending upon how long basketball is suspended. I'm gonna put that tweet up right here. Vince Carter, one second. Vince Carter said, such a weird night, but I am truly thankful for each and every person during this 22-year journey. If this is really it, I thank everyone for your love and support all these years. Be easy. Shout out to Vince Carter, man. He really he gave a lot of kids. He was the guy after Jordan that dunked and really gave a lot of kids that idea, like, yo, I could fly, or I could try to fly. Because even if you weren't trying to be Jordan, you was trying to be Vince. So shout out to Vince. A true NBA great, future Hall of Famer, and yeah, man. And also shout out to Tom Hanks as well. Him and his wife, Rita Wilson, have contracted coronavirus. They are in Australia right now, but through his statement, he did say that they are fine. And Mark Cuban has already basically said that, he mentioned the people who work on an hourly basis, and he basically said that they're going to try to really find some way to be able to keep people employed and compensated if they can't work at the arena, including maybe coming up with some volunteer programs or something along those lines. So shout out to Mark Cuban. The one thing that I realized about Mark Cuban, especially from watching like the All in the Smoke podcast, Knuckleheads podcast, is that Cuban was really, really an innovator, a true innovator. And not only just an innovator on the floor, and I just touched my face, but I've cleaned my hands. I've been in my house. I'm legit not leaving the crib, but to throw the trash away. I'm in this mug. I'm in here until something get announced. I got enough food. I'm in here till something get announced. All right. But even the guys were talking about KG. I think was also on the podcast, and he was talking about how teams didn't used to have food in the locker room for players, and until Cuban kind of made that a thing and made it a thing for all of the players. So shout out to Mark Cuban for always really trying to be ahead of the curve. I really, really wish he personally would run for president. This entire presidential race has been nuts as well. Shout out to Bernie, man. You really did fight a good fight, bro. But your own party just don't want you to win. So shout out to you, bro. But you really did try. You tried your hardest, and I think young people, my generation of people really try hard for you. But I think the older generation is stuck where they want to be stuck, and I'm cool with that. You did have some ideas that a lot of people thought were radical, but I thought that the world needs a lot of change, and as we can see, we weren't ready for something of this type of situation when. Personally, I think we've had about a 2-3 month start on it. So, shout out to the man Bernie. I feel the burn still. Hopefully, he can somehow pull off a miracle. But yeah, man, shout out to Rudy Gobert, man. I don't really know what else to say, so I'm gonna get off of here. It's been about 35 minutes. So shout out to all of you guys. Stay healthy. Drink water. Don't touch your face. If you go outside, carry hand sanitizer with you. Sanitize your hands, man. Keep your hands sanitized. Keep your hands out your face when you're touching stuff. And feel free to keep tweeting me. Love, hate, whatever it is. I love all of y'all, even if you hate us. I don't have any hate in my heart for anybody alive. But I love all of y'all, man. Shout out to all of y'all. Be safe. And, man, it's the 2for1 show. Until next time. Peace out.